Why do some people become loved by everyone, but understood by no one? Not hated, not rejected, not forgotten, loved, desired, admired. People look at them and think they must have everything. They have beauty, they have attention, they have power, they have something others wish they had. But sometimes the people who are most admired from the outside are the ones nobody truly sees from the inside. Because when people fall in love with your beauty, they may never ask about your pain. When people praise your strength, they may never notice how tired you are. And when people desire you, they may never stop to ask who you really are. That is where the story of Freya begins. Not with love, not with beauty, but with a question most people are afraid to ask. What happens when the world wants a part of you, but never wants the whole of you? Long before beauty became something people used to judge, chase, and possess, there was a goddess in the old Norse world who carried beauty, magic, desire, and death in the same heart. Her name was Freya. She was one of the most beloved goddesses. She was the goddess of love, beauty, and fertility. But that was only the surface, because Freya was not just beautiful. She was dangerous. She was not just desired. She was powerful. She was not just a symbol of love. She was a master of Seidr, a mysterious form of magic connected to fate, vision, and hidden knowledge. And perhaps the most shocking part of her story is this. Freya did not only welcome lovers, she also welcomed the dead. When warriors fell in battle, not all of them went to Odin. Half of them belonged to Freya. Half of the slain were chosen for her own realm. So before we call her only the goddess of love, we have to ask something deeper. Why would a goddess of beauty also stand so close to death? Why would the goddess people desired also be the one who received fallen warriors? And maybe the answer is darker than we expect. Because Freya's story is not really about beauty. It is about what beauty hides. It is about the price of being desired. And it is about the loneliness of being loved for the wrong reasons. In the old Norse world, Freya was not a forgotten goddess. She was not a small name whispered at the edge of a story. She was one of the most beloved figures among the gods. People knew her name. Gods knew her power. Giants knew her beauty. And almost everyone wanted something from her. Some wanted her love. Some wanted her magic. Some wanted her presence. Some wanted to possess her. And that is where her story becomes more dangerous, because being desired is not the same as being respected. Being admired is not the same as being understood. And being beautiful does not mean being free. Freya belonged to the Vanir, a group of gods often connected with fertility, wealth, nature, and deep forces of life. She was the daughter of Njord. She was the sister of Freya. And like her brother, she carried something warm and life-giving inside her image. Fertility, desire, abundance, beauty, the promise of life continuing. To many people, that was enough. They looked at Freya and saw what they wanted to see. A goddess of love, a goddess of beauty, a goddess who made life feel softer, warmer, more alive. But Freya was never that simple. And this is the first thing we have to understand about her. Freya was not beautiful because she was harmless. She was beautiful and dangerous at the same time. She did not stand in the world like an ornament. She stood there like a force. And there is a difference. An ornament exists to be looked at. A force exists to change what happens around it. Freya changed things. She moved between love and war, between desire and death, between softness and power, between what people wanted from her and what she actually was. And maybe that is why her story still feels so modern, because even today people do this to each other. They reduce someone to the easiest part to understand, the beautiful woman, the strong man, the successful friend, the funny person, the quiet one, the attractive one, the confident one. And once people choose a role for you, they often stop looking deeper. They do not ask what it costs you to remain that person. They do not ask what you had to learn in order to survive. They do not ask what you hide behind the face they admire. And Freya had many faces. She was the goddess of love. But she was also connected to battle. She was linked to fertility, but she was also linked to death. She was desired by others, but she was not owned by anyone. And above all, she knew a kind of magic that made even the gods pay attention. Seidr, a strange and powerful magic, not the kind of power that only breaks walls or lifts weapons. Seidr was different. It was quieter, deeper, more frightening. It was connected to fate, to hidden knowledge, to seeing what others could not see, to influencing what had not yet happened. And in a world where warriors trusted swords and kings trusted strength, Freya carried a different kind of power. The power to know, the power to see, the power to shape what others thought was already decided. That made her beautiful. But it also made her dangerous, because people are often comfortable with beauty until beauty begins to think. They are comfortable with charm until charm becomes wisdom. They are comfortable with desire until the person they desire becomes impossible to control. And Freya was impossible to control. That is why her story cannot be told as a simple story of love, because love was only one door into her world. Behind that door, there was magic. Behind the magic, there was power. And behind the power, there was something much darker waiting. Death. Because Freya, the goddess people desired, was also the goddess who received the dead. And that changes everything. To understand Freya, we have to leave the soft image of love behind for a moment. We have to step away from beauty, away from desire, away from the golden light people usually place around her name, because there was another side of Freya, a side that stood near the battlefield, a side that watched men fall, a side that did not look away when blood touched the ground. In the Norse world, death in battle was not just an ending, it was a passage, a door, and beyond that door, the dead were not all taken by Odin. This is the part many people forget. Odin did not receive every fallen warrior. Freya received half of them. Half of the slain went to her realm, Folkvanger, a place connected to her power, a place where the dead were gathered under her presence, and suddenly the image becomes strange, the goddess of love, standing beside the god of war and wisdom, the goddess of beauty, choosing among the fallen, the goddess people desired, receiving those whose lives had just been broken by violence. Why? Why would a goddess of love have a place among the dead? Why would beauty stand so close to the battlefield? At first, it feels like a contradiction, but maybe it is not. Maybe the ancient world understood something we often forget. Love and death have always lived closer together than we want to admit. Because everything we love can be lost, everyone we hold can disappear. Every beautiful thing carries the shadow of its ending. And maybe that is why Freya belonged to both life and death. She was not just the warmth of love. She was also the pain that comes when love is taken away. She was not just the desire to hold someone, she was also the silence after they are gone. And that makes her much deeper than a goddess of beauty. It makes her a goddess of attachment, of longing, of grief, of the things people are willing to fight for, and the things they cannot bear to lose. Think about it. Most wars are not only fought for land, they are fought for what people love. Home, family, honor, memory, belonging, the face of someone waiting at the door, the name of someone buried in the heart. And when warriors walked into battle, they were not just carrying weapons, they were carrying the lives they were afraid to lose. They were carrying people they loved, promises they had made, regrets they had never spoken. And when they fell, Freya was there, not as a gentle decoration, not as a romantic symbol, but as a goddess powerful enough to stand at the place where love and loss meet. And that is the hidden wound inside her story. Freya was loved by many, desired by many, praised by many, but her power was not built only around beauty. It was built around the deepest human fear, losing what we love. That is why her connection to death matters. Because death reveals the truth of love. It strips everything away: status, pride, beauty, possession, control. And at the end, it leaves only one question: what did you truly love? Freya's realm was not just a reward for warriors. It was a reminder that even courage is connected to longing. Even violence can be born from attachment. Even the strongest people carry something fragile inside them. And maybe Freya understood that better than anyone, because she was not watching the world from a distance. She was at the center of the things humans could not control: love, desire, fate, loss, death. And once you understand that, Freya stops looking like a simple goddess of beauty. She becomes something far more powerful. She becomes the goddess of everything people try to hold on to, even when they know they might lose it. But Freya's story does not end with the dead, because the most dangerous part of her power was not that she could receive fallen warriors. It was that she knew how to see what others could not see. She knew Seidr. And in the world of gods, that kind of knowledge could be more frightening than any weapon. Seidr was not ordinary magic. It was not just fire, thunder, or weapons. It was quieter than that, stranger than that. Seidr was the kind of power that reached into the hidden parts of life: fate, desire, fear, the future people could not see yet. And Freya knew it. She understood a kind of knowledge that most people feared, because people are often comfortable with beauty until beauty begins to know too much. They are comfortable with love until love becomes power. They are comfortable with desire until the person they desire can see through them. And that was Freya's danger. She was not powerful because people wanted her. She was powerful because she understood wanting itself. She knew what people longed for, what they feared losing, what they tried to hide, what they would do when love became hunger. And maybe that is why even the gods paid attention to her. Because Freya did not only carry beauty, she carried insight. She could see beneath the surface, and in any world, ancient or modern, the person who sees beneath the surface is never harmless. Because once you see what people truly want, you also see what controls them. And maybe this is the hidden truth inside Freya's story. People called her the goddess of love, but her story was never only about love. People called her the goddess of beauty, but her story was never only about beauty. Freya's story is about what happens when the world sees one part of you and mistakes it for the whole. Because to many, Freya was beautiful. To many, she was desirable. To many, she was a symbol of love, pleasure, fertility, and warmth. But if that is all we see, then we miss the real story. Because Freya was also magic, she was also grief, she was also death, she was also power. She stood beside the fallen. She understood longing. She knew the hidden forces that moved people from the inside. And maybe that is why her story still matters. Because the same thing happens today. People look at someone and choose the easiest version of them. The beautiful one, the successful one, the strong one, the confident one, the calm one, the funny one, the one who always smiles. And once people choose that version, they often stop looking deeper. They do not ask what that person had to survive. They do not ask what they are tired of carrying. They do not ask what kind of pain taught them to become strong. They do not ask how lonely it feels to be admired, but not truly known. And that may be one of the quietest forms of loneliness, not being alone, but being surrounded by people who only know the part of you that is useful to them. They know your beauty, but not your fear. They know your confidence, but not your exhaustion. They know your smile, but not what it hides. They know what they want from you, but not who you are when no one wants anything. That is the tragedy inside Freya. She was desired, but desire is not always love. She was admired, but admiration is not always understanding. She was powerful, but power does not always protect you from being misunderstood. And this is where the myth becomes a mirror. Because maybe you have felt this too. Maybe people have loved the version of you that performs well, the version that stays strong, the version that helps everyone, the version that never complains, the version that looks beautiful, successful, calm, or confident. And maybe over time, you started believing that this version was the only one people would accept. So you hid the rest. You hid the fear. You hid the sadness. You hid the anger. You hid the tiredness. You hid the part of you that did not look impressive, because somewhere along the way, you learned that people praise strength, but they often feel uncomfortable with pain. They praise beauty, but they often do not know what to do with the person behind it. They praise success, but they rarely ask what it cost. And maybe that is why Freya's story feels so human, because she carries the contradiction many people live with. She is loved but not simple, beautiful but not weak, desired but not owned, soft but not harmless, close to life but also close to death. And maybe that is the truth we are supposed to see. The most beautiful people are not always the happiest. The strongest people are not always the safest. The most desired people are not always the most loved. And the people everyone admires may still be waiting for someone to see the parts they never show. Freya reminds us that no human being is only one thing. No one is only beautiful, only strong, only calm, only successful, only kind, only confident. Inside every person there are rooms other people have never entered. There are memories no one has heard. There are fears no one has touched. There are battles no one clapped for. And sometimes the world falls in love with the mask, while the soul behind it remains unseen. That is why Freya is not just a goddess of love. She is a warning about how easily we reduce people, how quickly we mistake appearance for truth. How often we desire someone without understanding them, and how painful it can be to be wanted but not truly known. So maybe the question is not only who was Freya? Maybe the better question is how many people in our own lives have we reduced to one role? The beautiful one, the useful one, the strong one, the successful one, the one who never needs help. And maybe even harder, how many times have we done that to ourselves? How many times have we forced ourselves to remain the version people praise because we were afraid they would not love the rest? Freya's story leaves us with something uncomfortable. It tells us that being loved is not always enough. Being wanted is not always enough. Being admired is not always enough. Because what the human heart truly wants is not only attention, it wants recognition. It wants someone to look past the surface and say, I see more than what the world sees. Maybe that is why Freya stood between love and death. Because love becomes real only when it sees what can be lost. And beauty becomes human only when we remember there is a soul behind it. So here is the final question. Are you loved for who you truly are, or only for the part of you people find beautiful?